bring snacks. Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Gage, along with
the boy Sin.
No doubt. And this, we bringing you some information on GamesCom.
Yeah, that was this week.
GamesCom
2015.
is the E3
of Germany.
Yep. Of Europe.
Of Europe,
really.
yeah, of Europe.
Yeah.
It was
Europe.
in Germany, but of Europe, right?
Of Europe. So it takes place every year in Cologne, Germany. It's a really big deal. Again, it's like E3.
Except
it's a press event, but it's open to the public. So like the first day, maybe the first 2 days, is basically closed just to media. But then they open the floor to the public. And traditionally over the last like 5 or 6 years, maybe a little longer than that, where E3 is usually about 30,000 people, GamesCom has been 300,000 people.
Yeah.
This year they broke 400,000 people.
It's getting bigger and bigger every single year.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people. But most importantly, it's a lot of people who are there because they love and want to play video games.
Yeah.
And it speaks to the power of what video games is, how it is the biggest entertainment business there is, not, in the world. So a lot of information.
That is a lot.
That's a lot of people.
Yes.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, this year Microsoft had a press conference at Gamescom. There was a lot of information. They gave us an E3, but then they came back and said, we have stuff that we're holding
right,
for
just for Gamescom, yeah.
So we're not going to get too heavy into what Microsoft talked about because we did do a separate show.
We did.
On that. So please, by all means, go and look for that. Check it out. There's a prediction show. I don't think we did so hot. We
were swinging and missing on that one. But it's all in fun.
Yeah,
it's all in fun, but yeah.
And then we did a recap to the show. So definitely go and check that out because it was a lot of information.
It was. Microsoft came out swinging at Gamescom.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Sony did not have a conference. Nintendo did not have a conference, so they both have presences at the conference.
Right.
And EA had a conference. Blizzard had a conference. So we're going to kind of cover those things, and we're going to kind of cover some of the information that came from those other camps. Right. Before we get into those other camps, we're going to start with Microsoft because we had a conversation about it already. But some of the basic information, so just some tidbits of information. We got to see Crackdown 3 gameplay.
We did.
We got to see
Dragon Scale.
Scalebound.
Scalebound. See, we doing it again. We're doing it again. I apologize. Scalebound.
We got to see Scalebound.
Yes. Go back to the video. You'll see what we're talking about.
And right. Video. And I just want to make a point really quickly that up until Gamescom, Crackdown had just been called Crackdown. So it was assumed that maybe it was going to be a reboot. But when they announced it at Gamescom, they did actually call it Crackdown 3.
Yes, they did.
So we know that it's continuing. Right. It is continuing the franchise, not necessarily rebooting the franchise. We got to see some more of Lara Croft.
Yeah.
And the Tomb Raider exclusive for this year.
We got to see some more Forza Motorsport.
Right.
With the new weather effects to add in. Yeah.
New Halo console. 1 terabyte.
Yes.
They didn't actually talk about this at Gamescom, but they are actually doing so. That is kind of branded with Spartan Lock, armor looking.
Okay.
That blue, that blue foil that you like, which is kind of similar to. There was a silver foil on the day one controllers that came out when the Xbox One first dropped. The D-pad, as opposed to the regular controllers, which is just kind of a matte, is a silver foil. They are doing a Master Chief controller. Not a console, but a controller. So green with the like orange, So I did post that on Instagram. Make sure you go check that out and hit that. Just double tap. Show a little love. Yeah. But anyway, there was a lot of information that came from there. Again, go back and watch that video.
Please.
Did you have a favorite moment from
Microsoft?
Yes, from Microsoft's press conference.
First thing that's sticking out to me is probably that 100% destructible environment in Crackdown. That was the one thing that to me would take it to where Crackdown needs to go to keep improving. And
I would back you up on that in that it's the first time in a long time, I'm gonna say in almost 2 years, that we've actually heard about a developer speak about the Microsoft Cloud again. And they were literally said, we are using the Microsoft Cloud to do 20 times the computations that the system can do by itself. That's how we can make literally everything is 100%.
Yeah, they said the game is like, the city is 100% destructible. Yeah. I don't know how that's gonna work with story.
Well, all that kind of stuff, you know what's funny is that I actually watched an interview and saw some behind the scenes stuff, and basically they were like, what happens is you may need to take down a building, like you're trying to get to a particular person. They actually had to build the interior of every building because they were basically like, we can't stop you from doing something like blowing a hole in a building and going through that building to get to another building or to get to someone or to get away from something or whatever. So they had to build the interior of everything. But in the gameplay that people had a chance to play, they were like, when you're shooting a building with rocket launchers and whatever, trying to tear it down, you actually have to kind of think strategically, because the glass and the bricks and stuff like that will crumble, but that the steel structure of them doesn't crumble as easily. And you may try to take one building out to try to make it knock another building out, or you may have to like destroy a part of a building to get to the interior, to get to the target you have to kill. Right. Stuff like that. So I also want to note that if you watch that video in Gamescom, when they talked about the co-op, we know that they've had 4-player co-op. We know that the co-op is going to be there. Right. But if you watch that video, there's like 8 icons on the screen at the same time. Ooh. And they all have the exact same logo, as if they're all on the same team. I gotta go check that out. Yeah, I gotta go check that out. So y'all do it too. Yeah, definitely. That's a good moment. I'm gonna go for my favorite moment. Again, I'm a little more on the tech side of things. I like that stuff. Obviously, I love games, but for me, hearing about the TV DVR. So over the air TV DVR. The messages were kind of combined into one segment, but. Over-the-air TV DVR. So if you have the over-the-air tuner that Microsoft makes, and you're just pulling in an antenna. So if you've cut the cord, but you want to be able to watch TV and record it, you can record directly. You actually can't record directly to your Xbox. It actually does require an external hard drive. Okay. So you do have to have an external hard drive, and it has to be a separate hard drive from the one you keep your games on. Ah, that's good. Take note of that. That's very good to know. Yeah. However, because of all of what's happening with Windows 10 having released, and what's happening with the cloud and all that kind of stuff, you're able to stream to any Windows 10 device that's in your home on the same network. Right. So which is dope. You can take whatever you have saved and you can pull it there. Because of the connectivity with Xbox Live and so forth, you can actually go in from your phone or whatever, and you can program your DVR to record TV shows and stuff like that for you. You can also download things that you have stored on your DVR to one of your Windows 10 devices, so that you can take it on the go with you. And I just think that that's really dope. Again, it kind of shows that Microsoft is thinking bigger than just that ecosystem. But I think that was they coupled that announcement with that all of the coming Xbox 360 live games with gold games are going to be backwards compatible. Yeah. I feel like the DVR thing kind of overshadowed that. I just think that's a big deal because so many people have cut the cord. Yeah. That was my favorite moment. That was a very good moment. Yeah. Very good moment. I like seeing that they've been focused so game heavy with everything that they're still working on all that kind of stuff and working to improve it as well. And the DVR is a great way to improve it. Yep. Let's talk Sony. Okay. So Sony did not have a press conference, as we mentioned. No, but they were there. But they did have a presence there on the floor, and there were some announcements that came out. Now, again, we know that Sony doesn't really have anything coming this year in terms of first-party stuff, right? But probably, I'm going to say that this was probably the biggest announcement that came out of the conference, was that Call of Duty, for like Major League Gaming, for competitive Call of Duty, is now going to be played on PS4. Meaning that when you see the big arenas with the $1,000, $10,000, $1 million, winnings and the trophies and all that kind of stuff, it has traditionally always been played Xbox. 360. And we kind of saw that transition to PlayStation in the trailers, and they're now getting the exclusive maps first. Not necessarily exclusive, they're getting the maps first and things like that. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind of saw it coming, but that is still a big deal because
it's very big for Sony.
Those people who do play Call of Duty competitively, now if they had been playing on an Xbox, they have to make that switch.
They have to make the adaptation,
and that's a big deal.
Yeah, it is. And with the competitive market growing with esports and Major League Game and all that kind of stuff, that's a massive
big
deal. Yeah,
that's a big deal.
So kudos for them for getting that.
I want to say this. It made me wonder if Microsoft didn't put the effort into recapturing that exclusivity, that kind of early stuff with Call of Duty, because they've put such a strong focus on competitive gaming for Halo 5.
I'm with you on that.
I think that's...
Yeah, with them announcing being esports, the championship coming up, that sounds like where they we're going to pull back and focus on that. We're going to push our game in the esports and all that kind of stuff. We're going to be fully behind Halo and pushing that move. Yeah,
very
definitely.
Interesting. There was another pretty solid announcement that came from them. Again, there wasn't a whole lot because they didn't have their own specific conference or anything. But you mentioned me. I saw it, but I didn't really pay a lot of... I don't know why I didn't pay a lot of attention to it. But
that PlayStation Now is going to be on Vita.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's very smart for them. I think it's extremely smart.
You know what? I do. It just seemed kind of left field because, like at E3, they didn't mention Vita at all.
Very true.
And they didn't mention PlayStation Now at all.
But at E3, Microsoft said backwards compatibility.
Exactly.
So now it's like, you know what? We have to push PlayStation Now. Right. You know what? Vita's a smart move.
It is. It definitely is. I mean,
I have one now.
When you consider the catalog.
Yeah.
When you consider the back catalog that Sony does have access to, being able to have that on the go
is a very smart move.
It's a smart move. Yeah. Now they just got to get their pricing right.
Yeah.
I would feel better if they had talked about PlayStation Now and talked pricing. We will see what they say at Paris Games Week, which is a new conference. It hasn't ever happened before, but that's not until the end of October.
And we also know they're in Tokyo Game Show.
Right. We know they'll have a strong presence, and Microsoft has pulled out of Tokyo Game Show.
Right. So they still have conferences.
And they still have PlayStation Experience. So the second PlayStation Experience, they did it for the first time last year. That's not until like the end of December.
Yeah, so they got stuff. They have plenty of conferences and the experience coming down the pipeline to make announcements and drop stuff.
This wasn't for them. I think it was a good idea for them to kind of sit back and see what the competition is doing, so that they can kind of gear up, get fired up, and go and kind of have something to themselves, which I think is a big deal. So, Blizzard.
Wow themselves.
All right, listen. I don't Warcraft in the world. It's not my thing. I respect it. I understand it.
I fully understand it. I've been in your world before when EverQuest first came out. I played EverQuest, Anarchy Online, Dark Ages of Camelot. Hey, look, I'm into that stuff. I tried WoW when it first came off, but that's kind of when I stepped away from the PC and went fully console. So
my man,
I completely get it.
My man. Get it. Now, if they put World of Warcraft on a console, I might get down. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real because Neverwinter.
Look,
like I wouldn't. I will pick up Neverwinter. Right, I would walk through the PC games. I'll pick up now. Hey, man, the art always looks so good. And I flip it over and I look at it and I'll be like, man, this look complicated.
I will admit, I'm missing that in my life. That's why when Neverwinter first came out, I jumped on it so heavy, and that's why when Elder Scrolls came out, I'm on that heavy right now because I honestly miss having that MMO experience in my life. I love them, and
listen. I got a lot of love for Blizzard. They make great stuff.
They do.
What they announced, the biggest announcement that they had that came out of this was that World of Warcraft is getting its 6th expansion.
Oh, yeah.
And it's called Legion. So World of Warcraft Legion. They are actually bringing in a new class.
Yeah.
The Demon Hunter. So
about to see a lot of those running around.
Considering that like last week we got word that they basically had the biggest drop off in subscribers in their history. It was like, I don't know, 5 million people. to be able to have that many people drop off, it's a big deal in the first place. But you know what?
With the announcement of that,
they're coming back.
They're coming right back. Yeah, they're gonna come right back. So they're not worried right now. They made that announcement. New class 2.
Yeah,
they're gonna get them subscribers right back. Yeah.
So EA.
Yeah.
Electronic Arts had a solid showing.
I was gonna say that they had a better showing here. I feel like than they had at E3.
So, I mean, a lot of what we got here was the same. We got a lot of the same information, but we got to see more of it. And we got to see, we got to see gameplay of Mirror's Edge this time. So we got to see Mirror's Edge Catalyst. We also got the announcement that Mirror's Edge Catalyst is, in fact, a reboot. So that's why it's not Mirror's Edge 2. It makes a little sense now that it's not that.
Yeah.
It's a younger Faith. That's a big deal. We did get to see gameplay of it. It looks good.
So I can jump on it this time, so I never played the first one.
Right.
I can understand what all the hype is about.
Yep. And you can go back and play the first one because it takes place after this one.
Exactly. So, hey, there we go. With backwards compatibility. Oh, there we go. Yeah. On the Xbox One.
The future comes full circle. Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, Lord, yes.
All right, now look. There was some controversy. Not controversy, but people were upset because the game doesn't have or wasn't going to have, like, space battles.
Tell them to shut up.
I mean, when I have the... shut up, y'all. I mean, look. I get that. Here's the thing. I don't think people are mad at them for that. I just think that people... Rogue Squadron... Like people that just are... They're hankering for a space... Star Wars battle. So I just think that they were a little upset. What we did get... at GamesCom was the announcement
of Fighter Squadron.
So it is air battles. You're just not technically leaving the atmosphere.
And look, I'm sorry, but when I watched that trailer, that felt like Star Wars.
Millennium Falcon. Listen.
What?
Listen.
Like when I saw that trailer, I felt like I did when I watched the first when they run around the hallway. It feels and looks like Star Wars. That felt like Star Wars.
It
so what
sounds
if they
like
were
Star Wars? Things blow up like Star Wars.
Like it looked good. It looked great when they was flying around everything.
It just was in the sky instead of in space. I'm just saying that's what it was. Look,
I know.
But the important thing is we got it. We know there's gonna be battles.
Yes.
Be happy you could jump in your ship.
Yes.
Jump in your X-Wing.
And who said there was some
Y-Wing,
DLC come down the pipeline we can fly around in space and do it? So
it probably will be, but people will be mad because they'll probably try to charge them. You know how people get with the DLC thing. Anyway.
Yeah. Right.
Need for Speed. So Need for Speed, not a whole lot, but they did announce that it was going to have some live action elements to it. So it's kind of like a show, almost like Quantum Break. It's doing kind of the TV / game.
I was actually impressed with Need for Speed, seeing it here.
Like, I wasn't, but that's cool.
Okay.
You liked it because?
Well, one, I like what we're talking about, how they're going to add in, like, your car that you design and make will be in the live action thing. I thought that was real cool.
Yeah, that's tricky. Well, okay.
It is. Like, it's interesting. Like, I want to see how they pull it off. Like, no, I want to see my car. I don't want to see y'all little stage car. I want to see my car and I like that it's there. And I don't know, just I got a vibe from it. Seeing it, it makes me want to play Need for Speed again.
I'll play it.
And I haven't wanted to play Need for Speed, like, in years now.
I'll play it.
So I'm looking forward to it.
We got to see a few other things.
We did.
Like Unravel.
Yes.
FIFA.
More FIFA. Can't stop it.
You can't stop FIFA.
Can't stop FIFA.
Can't stop football.
No.
Football. There was a lot of information. There were a lot of trailers. We got a lot of trailers. So listen, make sure you check out our Facebook page. We posted like every trailer we could get our hands on on the Facebook page. So go there, take a look at it.
Tell us what you're looking forward to.
And please tell us what you saw that you liked. Whether you saw it before we talked about it, whether you get the coverage from us. Just let us know what you thought, what you liked, and how you feel about going now into 2016, because that's what GamesCom was mostly about. Was about 2016, and right now
we're finishing out this year, and here's our lineup to start off
2016. Is going to be nasty, a powerful year.
Yes, it is
for them gamers.
Yes, it is, and I cannot absolutely wait.
You're gonna have to.
I know.
We gotta get through holiday 2015.
Very true.
Now.
Very true. We gotta start. Save that money. Save that money.
Straight up.
Cause it's coming.
Save money. Don't do it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been Loading Snacks talking about GamesCom 2015.
Yep.
And we are out.
Holla.
Playing in my brain, we about to get in. Oh yonder. It's a bar with a barrel be at and everything is funny. Here we go. Trying to blow my eyes, smoking all that hay with no money. It's a bitch you want to do me, so we hit the 150, the one Bacardi. High in the sun, thick like cornbread, and I'm ready to party.
Hold up. How the hey 151 and she was
Hey,
thick like cornbread?
You know what I'm saying?
It was going down.
No.
When you get older, you get a better understanding.
Like we was kind of young when that came out.
Yeah,
Now
that was
like,
going down.
In the bar.
Loading snacks.